Good morning, afternoon, and evening, wherever you are, and welcome to a Nerd Tube Stop the Press debate about GameStop and their new last throw of the dice of GameStop Retro. Now, before we start going into more of this, let me introduce you to our experts and my co-host, Cheeto. How you doing?
Doing good. Can't wait to talk about this.
And Diose 101. How you doing?
The ship is going down. The ship is going down. Damn it. Here we go. The ship is going to go down. This is a desperate play, but let's get into this.
Now, I'll be very honest with you. I'm representing like a large bunch of people who are kind of in the dark on this. I wasn't very aware of what was going on regarding GameStop. The last time GameStop made the news was that famous moment regarding Wall Street bets, where a bunch of regular people bet on the stock for GameStop, and rich people lost a lot of money. But now, GameStop are back in the news with this new retro thing. And maybe Cheeto, you can explain it to me a little bit.
All right, so a article came out recently, and I'm going to bring it up here. An article came out from comicbook.com saying that GameStop has announced that GameStop Retro stores are starting to open across the United States. As the name suggests, GameStop Retro deals in retro games. So there's going to be NES, SNES, Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, N64, DS, GameCube, Wii, Wii U, PS1, 2, 3, PS, Vita, Xbox, Xbox 360, Sega Dreamcast, Saturn, and Sega Genesis games, as well as systems, as well as consoles and stuff like that, is what it's saying. They already have up on there a Nintendo Wii console for sale for $70. Meanwhile, they also have a Nintendo GameCube controller, which is up for $25. So that means that they will be selling accessories to these old retro gaming systems. That's really all we have at this point, besides that these are going to be stores.
Mm-hmm.
And so, for me, I think this is a good idea if they do it right. My thought on it is what they need to do, and maybe they've done this, maybe they haven't, is they need to make deals with Nintendo, with Sony, with Sega, which I think is owned by Disney at this point, or not Disney. Everything's owned by Disney.
Well, everything's owned by Disney, but yeah.
Well, no, I think Nintendo owns Sega now, right?
Nintendo owns Sega, yeah.
So I mean, but they need to make and they need to start bringing out these retro consoles again, like brand new.
Yeah, not refurbished, brand new.
And even if it's the smaller, slim gaming systems, bring it out.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what we need. We also need, not used games. Bring out these games again, new.
Yeah.
I get it. Like, if you've already owned them and you don't want to pay for them again, I get that. Like, I don't want to pay for a game twice either. But like, I've never played, I've never played any of the Mana series, a game that's got the Visions of Mana, any of the Mana games that have come out.
Right.
I've never bought them before. You know what I mean? And if I want to go back and play the original,
you should be able to do that.
I should. Like, if I've never played it, and I'm willing to pay for it. Maybe not full price, but I'm willing to pay for it.
And to add to your point too, this is a way to combat piracy. That would be the way to do it. That would be a way for, people to be like, okay, go out and buy these games if you can find them. They should be able to make deals with, Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, and say, hey, okay, we're going to re-release these games, but we're going to do it at half the price. We're not going to charge you, like $70 per game anymore. If you want a retro game, it should be no more than maybe $10-$20, depending on the value of the game, at least in my opinion.
No, I agree. I mean, that's what we have in digital nowadays.
Yeah.
All these retro sites and stuff like that are bringing out retro games, and they're charging and they have sales all the time, and like $15, $20.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Like that. And I mean, bring them out in like the original looking cartridge. And I know we got Major raging out in the comments. So I'll go to those really quick, and then we can talk more. Nerdiverse says, I used to love GameStop, and FuncoLand was even better. You could play a game before buying it. Gasp.
Yep.
I like having game disc and not just a download file. I agree. Physical agree. Media. Major Rage says GameStop getting their mitts on the aspect of this aspect of gaming is bad. They're unethical they're unethical, treat their employees like shit, and take money from small businesses like your friendly local game shop.
Yeah.
He also says GameStop is to thank for the microtransactions and live service hellscape we live in. I don't know about that. I don't know if GameStop is responsible for that.
I would blame more so Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo. They were the ones that kind of started all that when we started going digital back then. But my thoughts on this are, I think this is it for GameStop. I think this is their last-ditch effort to try to generate traffic, try to generate people coming in, because at my GameStop, just a couple blocks away, there's literally no one in there. They've got like all these consoles, all these games. Nobody's buying them because of the digital age. So unless they do like what Cheeto just said, if they do deals and they can reach out to these companies and release these for way, way less, like $15, $20, I honestly don't know if you can save GameStop at this point, but it's a time or tell kind of thing.
Well, and I mean, that's what I'm saying is like, I don't want this. And what I don't want for this is just for it to be their used game store.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want that. Like, I don't want them, we ship all of our used games to this store here because it's our retro shop. And it's like, no, like work out deals, get these games new from the company. Even if it's like, I hate to say digital, but like, even if it's like a digital, like
let's say it's a digital copy of like Mario Sunshine, for example, just throwing a game out there.
Yeah. Like, I mean, like, put it, you obviously aren't going to have like a Nintendo, like an NES, where you have like the cartridge and you stick it in there and you push it down. Like, I get that. We're not going to do that. Like, and if they do, like, good on them, because it's very, like, I think that the disc holder should look like a Nintendo cartridge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, if they give us like the little discs or something that holds the game and's in there, bring out greatest hits, like bring out Mario's greatest hits, bring out Zelda's greatest hits, stuff like that. Like, do this right, and you can save your company.
Okay, if you don't,
go ahead.
If you start, I really need to start to say that as the person who knows nothing about any of this, and now I'm starting to hear what you guys have to say. I have to say this is not going to work for shit. I'm really sorry, GameStop, but what you're trying to do, you're offering something that's only going to maybe it's not going to be a product.
It's not going to revitalize it. Yeah,
it's not for everyone for a start. It's going to be for certain gamers of our generation, but even then, it's going to be more for collectors like Cheeto and Ginger. Right, it's going to be for me and you, because they have it's a novelty for them. And when I say collectors, I mean these things are going to be antiques at some particular point. They're going to be hard to get. They're going to be treated like fucking, like baseball cards and stuff like that. That's the way this shit is going, and that's not going to be for everyone. You can't necessarily make a business out of this. This shit is fucking niche, and it's going to fall flat very quickly. And secondly, when it comes to just buying and playing games, you have emulators for a start. On my Xbox Series X, I'm playing an Xbox 360 game in Fight Night, Fight Night Champion. That's 2 generations ago. I can play that game on my current console. I have no affinity to a fucking games case and a CD. I don't give a shit about that. I just want to play the fucking game. And on top of that, you can play retro games by buying a little device that you can plug in into your HDMI slot at the back of your TV. That will give you thousands of retro games.
But I've heard lots of those do not last, and they are not that good.
Yeah, I've heard that too. Yeah.
Fair enough. I get it. I do feel the technology will improve, and there's lots of versions of that, and they are still, considerably cheaper. Like 1,000 games on a joypad for me, maybe $50 is still cheaper than one game for $50 or even more, because it's so fucking old school and rare. But
if they try to sell this stuff at full price, you're right. They're going
to ripping them off. Yeah,
you cannot sell these retro games at full price and expect people to be stupid enough to buy these. I won't, and I'm pretty stupid.
No, but the point is that they're not making these. They're not physically making these games anymore, so they become a rarity. And if anything, those things in itself starts becoming more expensive. You heard about the graveyard of fucking disc and shit.
What I'm talking about is them making new of these games,
making new copies of these games. Making new copies. What he's talking about,
making an actual cartridge.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's obviously going to be different, but like you make a cartridge, and you're right, it will be more like a collector's item. But like the disc, like the disc that, like, let's say we get Super Mario Brothers, the original, it's on the
Yeah.
original console and everything. Whatever disc it comes in or whatever, like it, it'll be shaped like a Nintendo cartridge.
Yeah.
Like it's just these games. A lot of these games are not available anymore, except for like on Nintendo's emulator on their Switch. That's the only way you can really play them without pirating. And I do yo ho hoing, and I don't support that, and that. And I'm not going to get into that right now.
I agree, but you could buy like there's these things where there's like a mini, it's like a mini looking Nintendo Entertainment System. It's not.
I have an SNES one.
No, but it's supposed to look like one, but it isn't. But you put a cartridge in it, which has like 500 games.
You mean the classic? Yeah, you mean the classic. Mm-hmm. That's what you're talking about.
But it's supposed to look like it, though. That's the thing. It's not actually it. But because it's supposed to look like it, but it's supposed to give you that feel of nostalgia. Then you put a cartridge in it, and that game might have fucking 500 games in it.
Right.
And still, that is more, amicable and more better in today's world where we can cram everything into a small space than buying a shitload of games for a fucking console that might not plug into your TV anymore. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I really don't know what the legs are on this. For me, I think this is going to fall flatter than Daisy Williams.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a short-term thing. I mean, I could honestly expect it. Maybe it'll give them maybe 2-3 years, maybe 4 or 5 if they're lucky. But I think it's just mostly going to be for people like us, like the old school gamers. Because kids today will go in and they'll be like, we don't care about a Nintendo 64. We want the latest like PS5 kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think for GameStop, like I said, I think this is it. I think that's just how it's going to go.
Yeah, as I said, I think what they need to do is not what they're going to do.
Yeah, what they're going to do, they're going to be like, oh, let's charge, $70. And people will be like, no, because we're already doing that as is. We don't need to be paying $70 for these old games when you could emulate it, basically.
GameStop is without doubt the blockbuster of video games. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Unfortunately, it's had its part in our culture, but it has not caught up with the times. It hasn't figured, like, if Blockbusters was smart, they would have made themselves Netflix before Netflix did. You know what I mean? If they were really smart, but they're not. And same with GameStop, they would have made themselves the Google Play Store before fucking Google did, but they didn't. And now because because of that, they're resting on their laurels. And the world has passed them by, and there's nothing saving them, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a pretty fair assessment.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. As I said, I mean, my hopes for this would be my hopes for this would just be, it would be that, like, it would be, that they're bringing out some of this stuff. And you're right, like, I have one of those SNES classics, but the problem is that it has like 10 games on it, 12.
Yeah,
like, I'm talking about you walking into a store and there's been shelves of NES games or SNES games, and and being able to purchase what games you want. And if you want to do digital, then do digital. I don't believe in digital because I think that is basically cheapening the whole market, giving all of those higher up CEOs more money when they should be giving us something. Because I play my games, because I still play some of my games because I have physical copies of them. Yep. I've got PS2 games and PS3 games and PS1 games and N64 games that still work if I wanted to play them today. These ones right here, these all work.
Yep.
So it's like, they're going to be worth a lot of money in the future, by the way.
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I don't, but that's not why I have them. I have them because I want to play them one day, not because.
Yeah, but you, me, and Jose, because we are similar ages, but you, out of the three of us, and it kind of shows. I can't really speak for you, Jose. I'm sorry, but you definitely between me and you, like, you're an ideal customer for somebody like GameStop, but not me, because I've transferred to digital. I don't mind. I do hate the fact that there's no middleman anymore, and yet somehow these companies are still charging like there is, which is pissing me off. You know what I mean?
But the argument with that is that the reason why I can play all these old games still is I don't have to buy them again. I have them and I can still play them. Yeah, so that's why I'm like, if you go all digital, how are you going to do that?
No, well, as I
when
said
they close down the PS3 store, you're not going to have access to those games anymore. And yes, they'll be on. Go ahead.
No, I do agree. I just said earlier on that I'm willing to, maybe, if I want to take a trip down memory lane, buy one of those things where you can play 1,000 games and by plugging it in. I know it doesn't work, but I do all the time. I do get it, but I do think the technology will improve, and I'm happy to go down that particular route. And in 10 years' time, the game we're probably playing now, 10, 20 years' time, will probably be in the same vein, where you could just plug it in the back of your fucking TV or whatever, your holo projector or whatever the fuck it may be, and play it. It's just the way of the world. Do you want to get to some comments, by the way?
Yep,
Yeah,
I was just getting to those. Well, we'll start off with Nerdiverse. Call of Duty or looter shooter really got behind the microtransactions, so they helped make it a common thing. Damn you, Call of Duty. Games like Fortnite are on another level with that crap.
And that's not going to end. And that's not going to end. It will just only
and it really won't. The only way it's going to end is if people stop buying. And like, I play plenty of like games that I could put money into, and I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't have to have everything that everybody else has in those games,
Yep.
So Rick B's here says, "Hi, ladies. What games are you currently playing? I'm really enjoying Black Myth Wukong. I've heard of it. I've never played that one. I have not played that one yet, but I am interested."
Looks beautiful. Looks absolutely
looks
beautiful.
great.
Yeah.
I am currently playing Star Wars Outlaws, and there's a little bit of news we could break into that. Star Wars Outlaws, for those that don't know, is a save bug on PS5 that is deleting and corrupting your save files, despite the fact that you paid $110 to $130 for the Gold or Ultimate Edition, and you're getting taken, and that absolutely sucks. That is unfortunate. I subbed to Ubisoft Plus to try out Star Wars Outlaws. I'm having a good time with it, but man, Ubisoft.
Deleting files that after 7 hours of play, mate, that would make me
That'd make me stop playing the game.
Oh yeah, I'd be done.
This is why I'm always happy to wait now. I mean, the only game I buy quite early because I play with a contingent of people.
Is FIFA.
Is FIFA.
Yep.
But I'm always playing, and then that's the game I still keep playing. By the way, Rick B. I'm also playing a bit of Assassin's Creed Mirage because now I've unlocked everything. Replaying it again with all the unlockable shit is a different experience, and I'm enjoying that. And obviously, I'm always playing Hearthstone as well, which I was just playing prior to coming online with you guys. I've been playing that game for 10 years. So I'm loving that. But as I'm getting older, my desires of what to play is becoming less. It
has to be out of this world and knock it out of the park. That's kind of I think where I'm getting to as a gamer.
That's me in Final Fantasy. Like what I mean. Like that's my go-to is Final. Like the thing I'll buy day one is usually Final Fantasy. Like Rebirth, Remake. 16, like I'll buy those day one. Everything else I'll wait for. I just bought Hogwarts Legacy. Like I found it on sale. It was like $25. So I just started playing that on Milquetoast Gaming.
For me, here's my day ones, and people are going to be like, "What the fuck?" Lego games. I love Lego games. Lego games are so fun. For me, when Lego Horizon Zero Dawn comes out, that's a day one. I love the Lego franchise. Those are so fun to play. I love those.
Yep.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I mean, the next 3 games I'm going to probably get, and it annoys me that I have to mention 2 Ubisoft games, is I will probably be getting Star Wars Outlaws at some point, but definitely not
now.
Straight away. I am waiting for that discount.
Yep.
I'm gonna play Assassin's Creed Shadow because I've always been involved in Assassin's Creed games.
Yep.
And Assassin's Creed, it looks good. It looks interesting regarding the different types of ways of approaching it with samurai or ninja. And of course, next year, GTA 6.
Next year, what?
GTA 6.
Oh yeah, gosh, GTA. I've been done with GTA since Vice City. No, I mean I honestly want to buy Assassin's Creed Shadow. I normally wait for them to go down in price a little bit, like not a ton, but like a little bit.
$10, $20.
But I want to buy it just to give all the incels,
something to be mad about.
I want to help the sales of this because like a black samurai, even though he's historically accurate, and like I'm like I want to piss them off. I just want to piss them off.
I mean, here's the thing: they'll get Shadows right. They'll do everything that Star Wars Outlaws is failing to do. Because I've been playing Star Wars Outlaws, and it's just okay. Like it's good, but it's not great. It's like it's not going to set the world on fire. You're not going to have it's not going to be one of those games where it's like that's a game of the year. I'm going to go ahead and give it honestly a 6 or a 7. It's like a slightly above average game. It's good, but it ain't great. It's going to be one of those. You'll play it, you'll beat the story, and then you may or may not come back to it in a couple of years.
Rick B, we've already been through this. Like it is.
It's historical fiction, by the way. Just so you know, Rick B. They're just Assassin's Creed generally isn't real history. They're using elements of it and expanding on that. That's all it is. It's historic fiction.
Yeah, but I thought that they proved that he was he
was. But I'm just saying, what's happening in Assassin's Creed obviously is not real. They're just taking something and putting their spin on it. You know what I mean? Historic fiction. That's all it is.
Yeah.
You know? So let's not take it too seriously.
He says Outlaws is Jedi Survivor 3.
I don't know if I'd go that far because you can't use lightsabers and shit. You just use guns and rifles and do takedowns and that kind of thing.
Okay, fine. He's not a samurai, but he whatever, dude. Like he's what is he? I don't know what his technical...
a retainer, but even then it depends on how you look at it, because there are Japanese historians who say that you could be a retainer and a former samurai the same way you could be a Sith and an inquisitor, if you know what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, whatever. Like, we're not getting into that debate here, but whatever you say, whatever helps you sleep on your throne of lies at night.
I'm just looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to Shadows. I went ahead and I got the gold edition. I'm like, all right, cool, 3-day early access. Those are one of those games where it's worth it for the early access because I like Assassin's Creed. I really enjoy those games.
Yeah. So I exactly. Yeah. So there's some stuff coming on the horizon. Looking forward to, but always be smart with your money.
Yeah. We all know Tom Cruise was definitely the last samurai.
Oh yeah.
I know you. Of course, you love that film, Rick B. But Tom Cruise was the last samurai. Yeah, right up your alley. All right. So GameStop. This is their last hurrah. After that, they will be they'll be in the wind and forgotten, and maybe just remembered, through history lessons in on the internet, because I'm sure
it'll be remembered by us old heads. Basically, it'll be like, man, I remember when GameStop used to be the shit back when they were friendly. They would talk to you. They would tell you what games they were playing before they became corporate drones.
And now they do that just because they're bored because nobody comes into their stores. I think I've bought more Funko Pops at GameStop than I have bought games in the past decade. I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
And most of these I buy online on Amazon.
Yep.
So that tells you, I have not bought a game at GameStop in, I would say, I could count on one hand how many I've bought at GameStop in the past decade.
I'm trying to think. Okay, the last game I bought at GameStop was Dead or Alive 6, and that was 5-6 years ago. God, I haven't been to GameStop in that long.
Yeah, me too.
Jesus.
I mean, digital downloads, but you can imagine telling your kids that you went to the store to buy a game, and your kids go, "What? You actually went to a store to buy a game? You couldn't download it?" Yes, little Baba, yes.
They'd be really shocked when we have to tell
that would probably be my grandkids at this point.
Exactly. Your grandkids,
They'd be really shocked when we have to tell them what a VHS did and what a VHS was.
Oh yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Forget VHS, even a DVD player, dude.
Yeah, because even kids now are like, "What's a DVD store?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, y'all just don't know, man. Y'all don't know."
Yeah. Oh god. So the world is constantly changing, and it's up to us to make sure that we go with the flow, or we get left behind. And unfortunately, GameStop are like blockbusters; they've been left behind.
Oh yeah,
and it's to their detriment now because they're playing catch up, and that's even worse. When you're playing catch up. But you know what I mean? So good luck to them. But I have to give them the Vince McMahon treatment and say, best in your future endeavors.
Yeah, digital, like it or not, we're going digital. Digital's here to stay. That's just the way gaming is going to be.
Shut up!
Yep.
Shut up!
Shut up!
Damn it! Shut up!
It's the convenience. I mean, look, I'm sure there'll still be places around, Cheeto, that will cater to your needs, but they're going to be niche and they're going to be few and far between. And you'll probably be the slimmest fucking person in that place when you buy that fucking item. You know what I mean? Everyone else will look like fucking Ginger.
Yeah.
So,
oh God!
Damn.
Well, look at Ginger. Ginger actually fits that image for a start. I mean, he's a collector, and everyone looks like him anyway. Comic book guy in The Simpsons. There's a reason why they made him look the way he did.
Tito still plays on just on WOPR. He's all analog.
I'm all analog, baby.
Next thing you know, when GameStop closes, we're all going to be talking about midnight releases that we went to, because that's another trend that you don't see anymore in gaming is midnight releases.
I'll be honest with you, I kind of just was a bit past that, because I even at a certain age I was looking when I saw people like lining up to when GTA 5 came out, and people were lining up for that shit. And me, I myself, I think I might have digitally downloaded that game myself back then. You know what I mean? And so like I was gobsmacked, you know, you know, and I couldn't believe it. But there you go. So
So all right, I think that pretty much covers it.
Yep,
exactly. So no more to add, fellas.
No, I think we're good.
Okay, well,
RIP GameStop. That's pretty much all that really needs to be said, because we know it's coming.
Yeah,
it's just a matter of
like and subscribe here so that you get all the videos, because when GameStop goes under, guess what we're doing?
About it. Yeah, we're going to
GH is doing a 24-hour appreciation stream of what GameStop has done for him in his life.
Yep. Well, hey, man, because here's the thing. I used to go to Funko Land before they were GameStop, and Funko Land was cool because Funko Land will let you try games before you buy them. That would be another practice for you to do, GameStop, but we know y'all won't do that.
What they need to do, and even like I said, this is not a long-lasting business model, but eventually it will fall flat. Is they need to have maybe one shop in one city around America, but you can't have several. Just the one where they have all the retro shit, all the antique shit, all the collectible shit that people want to get. You know, when you see Matt Cardona on YouTube going to all these different stores collecting shit, that's what they need to be. They need to be a collector's item type of store now, in my opinion. And even then, that's niche as fuck. And you won't be having many of those stores, but it won't appeal to everyone, only the few, and they will fucking age out too before you have to come up with a new fucking plan.
Well, so, GameStop will not pay you. That's the other problem. GameStop basically priced themselves out of existence because they do not pay. Like, even if you bring them collector's items, they still don't pay you anything for it.
Yeah, that trade-in credit is bullshit.
It really is.
I have no idea what Spencer's and I go to Marks and Spencer's to buy my sandwiches.
Spencer's is a fucking throwback, bro. I remember Spencer's.
No, we still have a Spencer's in my area.
Yeah,
they still got the dong. They got the dong wall still.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, but what I also want to say as well is that if you do have these sort of retro shops, then what you need is not an average Joe running or like some teenage kid. You all need specialist people behind the counter who knows their shit as well. So you're gonna have to pay these people a little bit better than the people you used to pay, because they, you know, you have to be adapting what you're fucking selling and knowing, because these people need to know their shit. So it's going to be difficult. It's going to be a long road, man. It really is.
I give it 3 to 5 years. I honestly do.
I don't even give it that. I mean, if they don't do if they don't really lean into the retro feel and actually do what I was saying before,
maybe a year, maybe 2 at most.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, if it's just another GameStop used sale zone, like
it's over.
It's over. Like it's over. They can't do that.
Yeah.
All right, and like this particular podcast now, it's also over. So let us know what you think out there in YouTube and TikTok land. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to NerdTube, the greatest social media channel you never heard of. Take care, everyone.